There's a storm brewing. It's a supernatural storm. There's a storm brewing. It's a supernatural storm. But the end is not yet. The end is not yet. No, the... Okay, folks. This is my third stream today regarding this subject matter, which is the Ukraine and Russia and all things going on there, folks. Just going to catch you up with some details. Right now, there's nobody in the house, but you know, I will save this as a video, so you will have the opportunity to watch this later on. Just checking a few other things here. Okay, all right. We're going to refresh that right there. If you're out there, make sure you jump into the chat and say hi. Let's catch up on some details here. First thing I wanted to address is this, and it is an article on Zero Hedge. Ukraine warns radioactive dust could spread over Europe as fighting rages at nuclear plant. That's the Chernobyl nuclear plant. How could I overlook that detail? All right, now the potential is rising for greater fallout from the war across Europe as intense fighting is being reported centered in the Chernobyl area. And again, I reported on this earlier, folks. Ukrainian authorities are sounding the alarm over potentially disastrous scenarios which could ensue in areas of the Chernobyl containment zone, which includes an expansive region surrounding the Chernobyl nuclear power plant where radioactive contamination is highest. Now, this is since the April 1986 disaster. Russian troops are reportedly entering the area from Belarus, according to Interfax. And again, I reported on this earlier. And hello, Jaded Truther, and hello, Ahmad KR. Again, I'm going to be popping in and doing these short live streams throughout this event. I don't know if I'm going to do any more today or not, but we're going to do this one right now. We'll see where this goes. Welcome aboard, everybody. If you're out there, pop in the chat and say hi. I'm just going to try to catch you up on details as they break, and a lot of things are popping up here, folks. So right now we have this concern of radioactive dust because there is this fighting going on near the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Yeah, I'd say that's a real concern, no doubt about it. Let's move on to other things here, though. Again, let me get a refresh on this because this is where things are popping up fast and furious. Okay, let's start here. Islamic Jihad leader, Israeli actions in Jerusalem will lead to war. Looks like war mood is taking over today. We have that situation going on as the German defense chiefs blast the lack of readiness against Russia. Well, they've had plenty of time to prepare against this. And you see just by this map here all the different entry points in which Russia has been coming in. And so far it appears that, at least in the initial stages, and we're early on, that the Ukrainians at best are holding their own right now. Will this continue? It's tough to say. I mean, the Ukrainians are battling a nuclear power. How will this all play out? We don't know. But as of right now, they seem to be holding their own, and that's really astonishing. Hold me 1 second here, folks. I want to try something here if I can do this. I think this might help a little bit. Yes, we're bigger. We're bigger now. We're bigger. We're stronger. We're faster here. Another size up. Okay, so we have that. I'm going to keep running through this thing. And again, welcome aboard, everybody. Just if you're out there, pop in the chat, say hi. We're going to keep this thing moving and cover the details as they are occurring. I'm tapped into a wide variety of sources here. And we're going to be touching upon many of them. Now, President Putin says no other way to defend Russia other than by invading Ukraine. Yeah, that's a good excuse right there. That's a very good excuse. The Shastia town in eastern Ukraine is under the whole control of the UA armed forces. Russian attacks repelled. And we're seeing reports of Russian attacks being repelled here, folks. Again, we don't know if this is true or not. It'd be really something if it was true. But I'm seeing more and more reports of Russian attacks being repelled right now by the Ukrainians. And again, we have to believe that Russia, of course, is not unleashing the full force of its fury on the Ukraine right now. But we will keep running through this, folks. I want to keep this moving for you. Estonian Navy's, okay, that's Estonian ships moving out of port, excuse me. Now, Zelensky is saying through the Kiev Independent that no one will be able to convince or force us, Ukrainians, to give up our freedom, our independence, or our sovereignty. Ukraine has not chosen the path of war, but Ukraine offers to return to the path of peace. That would be nice. I don't know if that is possible at this point. I think, unfortunately, that Mr. Putin has got high aspirations, and he's not going to stop right here. And again, he's got the support of China right behind him. Now, we're going to look at this here, folks. This is very interesting. This is an image right here of people fleeing Kiev, or as some pronounce it, Kyiv. Look at all the traffic, all the cars going out of the city as they are attempting to escape a Russian bombardment, which the city proper has not been attacked yet, but troops are moving that way. And this Michael McFaul, who is a professor, okay, he says he's a professor, and he asks, what hasn't NATO mobilized its very high readiness task force or NATO response force? If not now, when? And there are some questions, certainly, folks, as to why NATO has not been a bit more responsive. Should NATO be a bit more responsive? What do you think, folks? Joe Biden has been saying that we're not going to be committing any U.S. troops to the fight. And we'll have to see how that goes, folks. And Yeshua is coming. Welcome aboard again. Good to see you. We were in here just a little while ago. And again, like I said, I'm going to pop in periodically with quick live streams to catch folks up. Now, we're seeing more and more incidents of Ukrainian forces staging large and, in some locations, successful counterattacks. There seems to be an ongoing tank battle in Chernihiv, which I think is how you'd pronounce that. Yes, I've seen reports all morning of the Ukrainians basically holding their own and in some cases forcing a Russian platoon to surrender. Again, I don't know how true that is, but that is what I have seen reported from multiple sources. And again, we have Russian websites, Russian government websites that are currently down, that have been taken down. They appear to be through DDoS attacks or other such attacks. I mean, I was looking at that earlier. Okay, now we have breaking from the FBI and CISA, along with UK authorities. They said today they observed Iran-linked muddy water conducting malicious cyber operations targeting telecommunications, defense, local government, and the oil and natural gas sectors. Now, that is something aside from this. That is another issue that we may be dealing with. Again, I'm anticipating cyber attacks to significantly increase. As a matter of fact, we could take a peek right now very quickly at the attack map over here and see, we'll see the globe and see what's going on. I don't know how well you're seeing this right here, folks. There you go. There is the attack map right now. And we'll get a look maybe at some things that are going on here. This was very well lit up just a little while ago. I mean, this was really lit up. It was like multicolored. Let's move over around the world here and see what's going on. Okay, when you look at Russia right now, and again, believe it or not, this is a Russian map. This is Kaspersky that sponsors this map. We have a variety of things going on in Russia. We have a lot of intrusion detection scans running. Mostly, we also have what looks to be some ransomware attacks taking place here in Europe. But Russia is very well lit up right now, and could some of this stuff be coming from the U.S.? Could the U.S. be retaliating in this manner that they are going in after the Russian government websites to shut them down. That is something that we will certainly keep an eye on, folks. And again, this map is much quieter than it was just a little while ago. That was really something a little bit ago. All right, we're going to keep moving here, folks. Going to check on you all here. And again, I'm glad a few of you stuck around with me. If you're out there, pop in the chat, say hi. We're going to keep moving right on to see what else is being reported. This is from Testilnik, Ravine Oblast in the Ukraine. I don't know who is responsible for this, but we have some manner of blast here, it looks like. Okay, I don't know what that is, folks, but that appears to be all quiet right now. So we are going to move on. Alex Panchenko is a reporter in that area, folks, and I trust his coverage to a high degree. And he says now some firsthand reporting spent an hour in nearby downtown Kiev, where while there's a fierce air-ground battle 10 kilometers away, downtown is deserted. Some people are home in flats, less so in nearby hoods. All city infrastructure and retail work. Some hoard food. Yes, again, Kiev is anticipating an attack, and according to Alex Panchenko's reporting, there's a fierce air-to-ground battle just 10 kilometers out. We have Joyce Karam here reporting from the national news. And according to the Pentagon, this is their assessment right here, there will be a large-scale war. We are still in phase 1. Putin's goal is regime change. Yes, U.S. military focused on 2 fronts, supplying Ukraine and helping Poland with refugees. So we have that, folks. We have that going on. According to the Ragex, Russian troops in Gostomel, Kiev region were blocked. An order for destruction was given. And that's per Zelensky. Again, I hope this is true. I don't know if this is true, but there are more and more reports of the Ukrainians fending off the Russians, in some cases taking some of them prisoner. I mean, I've seen all sorts of things today. Forcing some Russian troops to surrender. I mean, it doesn't seem like it would be likely, but maybe it is. I mean, God works in strange ways, folks. And we don't know exactly if that's true or not. Again, much of what we see, we have to look at with one critical eye, at least, because there is a lot of propaganda right now, a lot of propaganda coming out of that area. And Yeshua is coming. Please pray for the safety of people in Ukraine. Thanks for commenting that. Yes, especially so. Thank you for that. Let's move on here, folks. Ukraine's ambassador to U.S. says, as of this morning, we had 40 Ukrainian servicemen and dozens of civilians killed, but information is not up to date. Yes, it may not be. This is a fast and fluid situation, my friends. Now, I thought I just saw something here which may be what we have been expecting. Sounds like fighter jets over Kiev. This was reported by Marks. Let's see if we have anything further on that as far as, what is this right here? Okay. This we saw earlier. But he is reporting, he's picked up some manner of intel that it sounds like there are fighter jets over Kiev right now. That is, again, is something we've been expecting. We're going to keep moving here, folks. About the Russian landing operation continuing in the northwest suburbs of Kiev. Here we go again. Between that force and the downtown are a battered UA brigade and kilometers of dense urban landscape populated by a good 100,000 civilians. You make conclusions. So this might indicate that the Russians may have a difficult time in Kiev if they're coming in by land. We will have to see. Again, we're going to be watching this very carefully. Ukrainian losses of military equipment in Sumy. There are some images right here of some equipment that has been destroyed or at least severely attacked. Let's get a look here, folks, at this. Yep, that looks like definitely taken out of commission. All right, I expected that to be worse, but I suppose that is bad enough, my friends. So we're going to keep on moving a little while longer here to catch up on what is taking place. All right, folks, moving on. Constantly refreshing this thing. We're not going to be dealing with that right now. And we know that Ukraine president has declared martial law, severs diplomatic ties with Russia. That is news from hours ago. It doesn't look like we have a whole lot being updated at the moment, but let's check this. Let's check this cyber threat real-time map again, just to get a look at what might be going on. And as soon as this thing refreshes and gives us a bird's eye view of what we might be looking at. Wow, looks like a fun roller coaster ride, doesn't it? Yeah, or that could be. I don't know what that could be. All right. Let's look at Russia and Ukraine right now and see what kind of activity we might be viewing here. Let's see if we can stop that right there. All right, see if we can bend this down a little bit. Look at that. I mean, that's even changed just when I looked a couple of minutes ago. And again, what we're seeing here is a lot of intrusion detection scans going on right now. Either because of these cyber attacks or fear of them. We also have a fair amount of botnet activity taking place right here in Russia. We also have, I mean, there's just a wide variety of things here. Ransomware at work. Again, when you check this map, sometimes it is virtually colorless. You see very little going on. Here in the United States, things look fairly quiet right now. But I'm going to be continuing to look at Russia and see what kind of cyber threat activity we have going on there. Ahmad, I don't think Europe will stop Putin either. I just don't think they will. Is this all part of the plan? I mean, there's so many scenarios that could come to play out of this. When we see talk of great resets, and in the Bible we read of wars and rumors of wars, and of course we are seeing that right now. I'm going to move one more time through this, folks, to see if anything has broken that we should be paying attention to. Russian and Ukrainian vehicles literally pass each other here, and neither side does anything. This broke earlier, where you have the Russians on one side, the Ukrainians on the other, just passing by and saying hello. According to Christo Grozev, and he is another reporter, he's from Bellingcat, very heavily into OSINT, is very knowledgeable in this area. The Chernobyl power plant has been captured by the Russians. Okay, so now that they have that, what are they going to do with it? We have Forte 12. RQ-4 is issuing a naval surveillance over the Black Sea. Again, this is a surveillance plane run by the United States, and as you can see right here, this plane has been flying all over the Black Sea, gathering intel. So it's interesting that this U.S. plane, this NATO plane, has been able to penetrate that area. UK blocks Russian companies from raising finance in London. Okay, again, we see that reports that Russian troops have seized the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, staff reportedly taken hostage. So the fact that you had staff working there, again, Chernobyl is not the toxic place that it was years ago. Even though with staff working there, you could read some information that says the place is still highly toxic. And there are other concerns of radioactive dust emanating from there because of this military activity. No, this doesn't mean that there is a no-fly zone over Ukraine. This person is asking for a no-fly zone over Ukraine. No, that there has not been any no-fly zone placed over the Ukraine. Again, we're seeing more reports of Russian troops captured at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. Station personnel has been reportedly taken hostage. Leaping lizards and golly wow. I don't know what to make of that. How the Ukraine conflict is designed to benefit the Great Reset. I'm not entirely sure that Russia and China are so much on board with the Great Reset, folks. I don't know if they're playing along with this. I think that they have their own aspirations and their own ideas, and they don't really much care what Klaus Schwab and Bill Gates have to say, quite honestly, or George Soros. I think the Russians and the Chinese are acting independently. Swim upstream, yes. Repent, Jesus is coming. Thank you. Absolutely so. Absolutely. So again, a lot of reporting of this of the Russians capturing Chernobyl, apparently, and that they have taken hostage the staffers that were working there. I find that fascinating. I mean, again, it's safe enough to go there and work, right? So then we read reports of radioactive dust that we have to be concerned with. I don't know what to think of that. We have here from Air Live that a captain from the Antonov Airlines confirms that Hostomel Airport has been seized by Russian forces, but says that the An-225 Maria has not been damaged. Okay. And right now, there's basically nothing flying over the Ukraine, folks. I was just looking at an image, and maybe I can find it again, of Flight Radar 24, and there's nothing flying over the Ukraine right now but Russian military jets. There is no domestic air traffic over the Ukraine right now. Okay, I don't at this point. I don't give a rat's behind about this. I never actually did. It's sad that we still have to report on that. But the reporting seems to be slowing up a bit right now, folks. There seems to be a bit of a pause in the activity. So with that, I want to thank you all for being here during this quick live stream. Thanks, Jaded Truther, Ahmad KR, Yeshua is coming, and yes, Yeshua is coming. Swim Upstream, thank you so much for being here. Again, if situations warrant, I will pop in later on with another quick live stream, trying to keep you all up to date, keep myself up to date on what is occurring with the Russians and the Ukraine, and waiting for the next shoe to drop. We don't know what might happen next, folks. Could it be China, Taiwan, Israel, Iran? Could something here domestically happen in the U.S.? These are very tense times, but do not be given over to the spirit of fear, but instead of the power of love and of a sound mind that comes through our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.